Well, the 2024 Video Game Award nominations just came out today. And as a 34-year-old dad, I didn't get a lot of time to play any new video games this year, so I don't know a lot of these games. But as a straight white man on the internet, I have no qualms about giving my uneducated opinions on things that nobody asked for. So without any further ado, there are 29 categories that we're going to go through and vote on. And if you want to cast your vote, you can go ahead on to thegameawards.com and sign in and cast your vote for whatever you feel like. But we're going to go through the categories right now. All right, we're going to start at the bottom of the list and work our way up to Game of the Year, all right? So this is the last category you can vote for, and it's Best Esports Team, recognizing a specific esports team, not the full organization, judged the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2024. So you got Bilibili Gaming for League of Legends, Gen G for League of Legends, Navi for Counter-Strike, T1 for League of Legends, and Team Liquid for Dota 2. I gotta be honest with you, out of all of these categories, the only team I recognize is Team Liquid, and I'm not voting for a League of Legends team, so Team Liquid it is. Alright, so now we have Best Esports Athlete. The esports athlete judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2024, irrespective of game. You've got 33, Alex IB, or Alex Sib, I don't know, okay, Chovy, Faker, Zywoo, and ZMJJKK. I don't know how to pronounce any of that. Again, I've never heard of any of these guys. I'm going to go with Chovy because that's the name I liked the best. All right, up next we have Best Esports Game. You've got Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, which I've never heard of in my life, and Valorant. I got to give this one... Oh, it's close. It's either Counter-Strike 2 or Valorant, and I think I'm going to go Valorant here. I'm going to give that one to Valorant. Valorant's a good game. All right, rolling right along, we have Content Creator of the Year. You've got Queso. You've got Eowan. Sorry, I don't know you. Techo Gamers, Typical Gamer, and either USDA or Usta Pecora, the VTuber. I'm not really into the VTuber scene. I gotta give this one to Queso. The dude blew up, and just Waffle House in the background of his picture. And he's a really funny, entertaining dude. I gotta give that to Queso. Shoutouts to Queso. Eat him under the table any day. Most anticipated game, recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghosts of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Monster Hunter Wilds. Dang, this one's close. Honestly, all 5 of these games are going to be huge within their own right. I was not a big fan of Death Stranding, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that one. All of my friends told me I have to play Ghost of Tsushima. You gotta play Ghost of Tsushima. I tried. I tried. I got it for Christmas. I played the first little bit of it. Maybe I didn't get far enough into it. I don't know. But it didn't capture me. So I'm going to go ahead and take Ghost of Yotai out. GTA 6 is obviously going to be a massive game that will push the gaming medium forward. Metroid Prime 4, I think by definition has to be the most anticipated game because people have been looking forward to this game for like 8 years now or something like that since it was announced. And then Monster Hunter Wilds is also going to be huge. I think I'm most excited about GTA 6, but I think as a whole, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is more anticipated. So I think I'm going to give it to Metroid Prime 4. It's close, though. It's very close. All right, up next we have Best Adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Arcane on Netflix, fantastic show. Haven't seen the second season yet, though. Fallout was good. That was very faithful to it. Knuckles for the Sonic movie. Like a Dragon Yakuza, no idea what it is. And Tomb Raider's The Legend of Lara Croft. I didn't know that was out yet. I'm gonna give this to Fallout. This is another close one. Like, Arcane's good. I know the Sonic movies are huge. I've only seen the first one. But I think I gotta give this one to Fallout. I think they did a really good job of capturing the essence of the Fallout universe in that TV show. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. All right, Best Multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massive multiplayer experience irrespective of game genre platform. COD Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, or Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. This is a tough one, because I want to give it to Helldivers 2, but I just can't support what that game became with Sony doing the thing that I don't want to get into it right now. I didn't play Mario Party Jamboree. I really wanted to. It looks fun. I don't know if it's Game of the Year material as far as best multiplayer game goes. COD 6 kind of just feels like another COD game. Like it wasn't like huge when it launched. I know it only launched like 2 weeks ago, but it doesn't feel like a big game, you know? I think I gotta give this one to Space Marine 2. Again, I never played it, but I know that this game kind of took the place of Helldivers when that came out, so we're gonna give that to Space Marine 2. I wanted to give it to Helldivers 2, but I just in good faith couldn't. Best sports/racing game. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game, we've got F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, which I don't know, is that FIFA? It looks like soccer, I don't know. NBA 2K25, Top Spin, and WWE 2K24. I'm not really a huge sports guy. I like WWE 2K24, but I think I'm going to give it to NBA, I guess? I don't know. Like, I've never heard of Top Spin. It's a tennis game. Okay, cool. I'm glad that there's a tennis game. That's pretty neat. EA Sports FC 25, I've never heard of. It looks like FIFA to me. Maybe they stopped calling it FIFA. I don't know. I'm not a racing game guy, so I think I got to give this to NBA. Plus the Celtics, you know, my team won the championship, so we'll go ahead and give that to NBA. All right, up next we got the best sim/strategy game. The best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, or Unicorn Overlord. I've never heard of any of these games. I'm sorry. First of all, I am not a sim/strategy gamer. I don't play a lot of strategy games. I can kind of get into sim games a little bit, but I've literally never heard. I think I've heard of Frostpunk. I guess I'll just give it to that because I've at least heard of that one, I guess. Sorry, strategy/sim games. Sorry if I threw my vote to someone unworthy. I don't know. Don't hate me. Educate me, you know? Best family game. Okay. Astrobot. So Nintendo usually dominates this. Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. Love to see The Plucky Squire on there. And then you got 3 Nintendo games. And shockingly, I'm going to give it to Astrobot. I didn't play Astrobot, but out of those 5 games there, that's the one I wished I played the most. So, the game looks fantastic. I'd love to play it sometime. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm giving it to Astrobot. But, like, secretly, I kind of hope Nintendo wins. I don't know. You always love to see Nintendo get a win. All right, best fighting game. For the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat, rather. So, just a lot of headbutting, apparently. Fighting! Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collective Arcane Classics and Knuckles, Multiverses and Tekken 8. Sure. Give that to Tekken 8. I don't play fighting games either. All right, up next we got Best RPG Role-Playing Game. For the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Dragon's Dogma 2, huge game. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. So this, sidebar, this was something new they did this year, where now DLCs and expansion packs can be counted towards Game of the Year votes if the nominating committee deems them big enough and worthy enough to kind of be their own standalone thing. So this is the first time we've seen this. And so Shadow of the Erdtree, even though it's a DLC for a game that came out 4 years ago or whatever, is in contendership to be in this. So that's kind of interesting. So you have that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I've actually played some of. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And Metaphor Refantasio. Refantasio? This one's gonna go to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm a little biased because it's the only one I've played, but this game truly is fantastic. I like Elden Ring. I didn't much care for the DLC. It just seemed like it was bullcrap hard for no reason. And again, as someone who didn't play the DLC, I haven't beaten main Elden Ring yet. Dragon's Dogma 2, I've also heard a lot of great things about. I've never heard of these last two games. I gotta give it to Final Fantasy VII. Yes, I'm a little biased, but that's my vote. You can go vote for whatever the heck you want. All right, moving on to Best Action/Adventure. For the Best Action-Adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Okay, so keeping all of that in mind, you've got Astrobot, which is like a platformer, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which I didn't play, Silent Hill 2, which I didn't play, Star Wars Outlaws, which I don't want to think about, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I have played some of this game. I did enjoy it. It's cute. Definitely has good puzzles, good traversal. Definitely lacking in combat, but it's not really a combat game. But once again, I think I got to give this one to Astrobot. Again, didn't play Astrobot, but I think it wraps up those three categories best, just based off of what I've seen. Again, I'm not the most educated in this, but these are my votes, so you can go vote for whatever you want. All right, up next we got Best Action Game. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat, you've got Black Myth: Wukong, Call of Duty 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer. All right, just based off combat, I don't consider shooter games combat. Oh no, they're action games. Okay. So it's gun combat. I don't know, whenever I think of combat, I think of more, Dark Souls and that kind of thing, less guns, unless it's, I don't know, whatever. We're getting a little too carried away. I think Helldivers 2 has a decent shot at it. Again, my own biases aside. I heard some good things about Stellar Blade. I'm going to give this to Black Myth: Wukong, though. It's a Souls-like game, and I'm a little biased towards those once again. I'm actually surprised the Elden Ring DLC didn't make it in there. I probably would have voted for it if it did. But Black Myth: Wukong is a good game from what I've seen. I'd like to play it someday. So that gets my vote. Best VR/AR. I haven't played a VR game since Beat Saber when I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach in 2019. So that being said, let's bullcrap our way through this category. Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Gear, Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. Actually, I've heard of Metro Awakening, but Batman. That was easy. Let's move on. All right, best mobile game. AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. Okay, I've actually heard of some of these, mainly the first three. So we're going to narrow it down to those three, because I haven't heard of the last two, and I don't know anything about them. I actively play the Pokemon Trading Card Pocket. If you have that, send me your friend code. I think it's a neat thing. I think it's really fun. It's got a battling system in there that's different from how you actually battle Pokemon cards. It's lighter, it's easier. It's nice. It's a good game. AFK Journey it's kind of like Raid Shadow Legends. It's kind of just like the big meme-ish game of the year type of thing. It's like everyone can get an AFK Journey sponsorship if you just ask nicely or, bake them some cookies. I'm giving this to Balatro. And this is from someone who has not ever played or seen a bloody second of Balatro. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. But I know enough to know that it's a massive game and that it's tons of fun. And I would love to play it sometime. So I'm going to go ahead and give my vote to Balatro. Sorry, Pokemon. I wanted to give it to you, but I think this is the bigger game. Moving right along to round 17, Best Debut Indie Game. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio, you've got Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. A lot of fun games here, and by that I mean the two I've heard of, Plucky Squire and Balatro, and once again, I'm going to give it to Balatro. I think that all 5 of these games are probably really good, but I mean, if they made the category, they had to have been good, but I'm giving it to Balatro. So, that's that. Let's move on. Best Independent Game. This looks very familiar. Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. Okay, we got another one in here that's kind of a huge game. I hate to just keep giving it to Balatro, Like, I don't want to just keep voting for the same game. I'm not like a Balatro simp or anything like that. UFO 50 is also a huge game. I've seen a lot of people playing it. Not my cup of tea personally, but I mean, it's an outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional public system. So, like, Balatro's not like a technical achievement. It's creative. It's rough. I'm just gonna give this one to UFO 50, just to give it to something else. That's really what it comes down to. I'm not a Balatro simp, and I just proved it. Best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates / patches. Okay. Baldur's Gate 3. Final Fantasy 14. Fortnite. Helldivers 2, which has terrible community support. And No Man's Sky. Not the best year for Fortnite. As much as I play a lot of Fortnite, not their best year. They had a lot of botched launches of seasons. And we're just kind of like, we're working on it. Like, at least they go on their Twitter, and they are pretty transparent. I will give them that. So, that's the thing. No Man's Sky has a pretty decent community. It's hard to ignore that. Baldur's Gate 3 as well, and I think they're going to get the vote, honestly. I like Baldur's Gate 3, never played it, but just from what I've seen, I gotta respect them. Best ongoing game, awarded to a game for outstanding development of an ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. So you got Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Again, not the best year for Fortnite. This was probably my least favorite chapter of Fortnite this year. I mean, Fortnite OG and now we're in like Fortnite Remix was cool, but I can't give them, they didn't have a good year, you know. Diablo 4, I've not heard anything about this year. Destiny 2 definitely did the whole how can we make as much money off this game as possible thing. Granted, it is free to play for like the first 2 expansions, so there is that. There is that. And Helldivers 2 doesn't exist, so Final Fantasy 14 it is. For reasons. Games for impact. I always love this category. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Closer the Distance. Indica. Neva. Life is Strange Double Exposure. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. And Tales of Kanzara Zao. I probably mispronounced most of that. And here's where it gets weird. I've not heard of any of these. I mean, I've heard of Life is Strange, but I didn't know that Double Exposure was out. I don't know what this is. Is this like a remaster of the original? I don't know what it is. So we'll give it to them, I guess. I don't know. I always love that category, but I've just been so out of gaming this year that I don't know those games. I feel bad. Innovation in accessibility, another cool category. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. We were actually kind of talking about this on stream the other day. So you've got Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon's Age The Veilguard, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. I have to give this to COD. The reason I'm giving this to COD is because I have seen someone play Call of Duty Warzone only using their mouth. They're a streamer on TikTok, I think, and they have, I guess they don't have arms or they don't have working hands or something like that. And so they've got like a microphone kind of like me, but then they also have this little mouthpiece that they bump with their face to like move, and they, hit it up and down and push it and can bite it and pull it and blow into it and knock it side to side and do all sorts of stuff. And this dude frags out in Call of Duty Warzone using his mouth. And if that's not accessibility in gaming, I don't know what is. All right, best performance awarded to an individual for voice-over acting, motion, and or performance capture. You got Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hannah Tell for Life is Strange Double Exposure. Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaw. Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2, and Melina Juergens for Senua's Saga? Hellblade, or it is Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2. I'm going for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what character she plays, but I know that I thoroughly enjoyed all of the voice acting in that game. They all brought it. All of them did. So, shoutouts to Brianna, and I apologize if I mispronounce any of your names. Not my strong suit, and I am deeply sorry. As someone who hates having his name mispronounced, I get it, and I apologize. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. You got Astrobot, COD 6, Final Fantasy VII, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. I have to believe that a horror game would have really good audio design, but I don't know. I don't have the knowledge. I've not played it. I've not heard anyone talking about the sound design in Astrobot. Call of Duty, I typically really like the sound design in, but they did something really scummy where you can have better audio if you give them $20 more or something like that. So I'm not supporting that. I'm going to throw this to Silent Hill 2. I'm just going to have faith that a horror game has really good sound and audio design. I'm going to have faith in that. Best score and music. Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII, Metaphor, Refant. Oh, this one's back. ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack, I'll tell you this, out of these 5 games, the only one here that I've listened to the soundtrack for over and over again, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hard to say no to it, man. All right, we keep moving. We've only got like 4 or 5 left. Best art direction. You got Astrobot, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Metaphor, and Neva. Or Neva, or whatever the heck. Outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Souls-like games are very creative. Like the enemy design, the weapon designs, all this stuff. But the game is very gray, very brown, very, like, they had this one area in it, and this isn't the DLC, so it doesn't count. But they had like one area that was really red, but then the entire rest of the game was just like black and brown and gray and whatever the heck. So not very creative in that way. But I will admit the characters and enemies are very fantastic. Black Myth Wukong is kind of the same boat. Astrobot is unique. But I gotta say, this Neva, whatever that looks like, this looks very creative and different. So I'm gonna vote for that. Even though I have no idea what this game is. Uneducated. Alright, best narrative. Outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. No new ones here. You got Final Fantasy VII, Like a Dragon, Metaphor, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. I'm gonna throw this one to Final Fantasy VII as well. The whole story and narrative that universe is building, and this is coming from someone who hasn't beaten Rebirth yet. I'm probably about halfway through it. But the whole narrative that game is building and world that game is building is really interesting to me and really fantastic. It's had me hooked since the first game. So I'm going to give it to Final Fantasy VII. All right, we got 3 left. Best Game Direction. Award for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII, and Metaphor. We got 6 games in this one. Best Game Direction, creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Ooh, boy. This is a really hard one. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I feel bad that I don't know anything about Metaphor. But all of these games were designed pretty well and had good direction. I've only played 2 of them. I've seen gameplay of these 3. Technically, I haven't played the DLC, but I feel like I know. I've seen the DLC played, and I've played Elden Ring, so I feel like I can judge this one. Outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. I don't think there's a bad answer here. I think that no matter which one you go with, I think that they're all worthy candidates. This is really going to come down to your preference. I think it's hard to factually say that one game had better direction and design than another. I'm going to give it to Final Fantasy. And again, that might be biased because it's the only one I've played, really, but these are my votes, not yours. So, all right, we got 2 left. What do we got? Game of the year. Oh, no, sorry, we have 1 left. This is the last one. Game of the year, and it's the same game as last time. Okay, Astrobot Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio. I think it would be hilarious if Balatro beat all of these AAA studios, so that's what I'm going to vote for. And that's 29 out of 29 votes. And that's the Game of the Year awards. These are going to be shown on a random Thursday night because Jeff Keighley hates the working man. Usually live on YouTube, Twitch, and maybe even TV somewhere or something like that. I tune in for the game trailers. That's what I get excited about with the Game of the Year stuff. I could care less what game wins Game of the Year. Yeah, it's always a good feeling when a game you like wins Game of the Year. But if Metaphor wins, which is a game I've literally never even heard of, I'm going to be happy for that team. But I don't put anything to it because a lot of the games are just crowd voted like this, but then there are also awards that are just like up to Jeff Keighley and his friends. And it is what it is, you know, and so it's hard to put a lot of stock into this. It's always fun to get excited about, but if your game or your content creator or whatever doesn't win game or gamer of the year, just be happy for who did, you know. But show up and watch the trailers. There's always new exciting video games coming out. I'm hoping to hear some new exciting stuff. Maybe we'll get another trailer for Metroid 4 or the Switch 2 ? The new Pokemon game. Who knows? Nintendo usually brings 2 or 3 trailers to the Game Awards. So we'll see what happens. But that's it for the Video Game Awards. That's it for me. Hope you guys liked the video, and we'll see you in the next one.